Yo, my man.
Willard, Jock, aka Will Jock. How's it going?
Good, bro. Welcome to the All Madden Pod. All Madden Pod coming at you, boys, presented by AllMadden.com, NeonSports.com, AllMadden.com. Keep an eye out for that. Announcements are coming soon. It's
Mhm.
still in the works right now, but going to have league merch, a lot of cool stuff coming for the boys.
I'm pumped, bro. I can't wait to be. I can't wait to be all decked out.
Know what I want to see? I want to just like tune into a DNVR pod one time, and I want to see Hank wearing like an All Madden shirt. Like that'll be an
Yeah.
exciting day.
You think? Yeah, we might have to just send out T-shirts to like celebrities, like Pat McAfee, maybe. Send them out to rock it on the show just to get our name out there.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone gets a free shirt that's got like a YouTube channel. Just get it
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah, get it, send it to Stool Presidente. Maybe he rocks it during his pizza review. That'd be cool.
Oh, would be. Well, it's good to be in the booth with you, my friend. We got the playoff power rankings today, and we talked about this last week, dude. This is the best time in the All Madden League. It's like every time a game hits the chat, it's a must watch. Games are super competitive, and the playoffs are right around the corner. And in the commish chat, we're already planning the next draft and like trying to find a date for that. So things are moving. So we're going to do playoff power rankings today,
Yeah.
and then just talk about some of the other stuff that's been going on in the league. We got league member spotlight as well. Excited to get to that. But one thing I wanted to just talk about, I feel like the theme of the week, every time a game gets
Mm.
played, somebody's putting in the chat, oh, so and so went down with an injury. We saw earlier today it was Debo Samuel for the Texans, Alex going down with an injury. A few others. Like, what's the biggest impact injury that you have seen over like the last couple weeks, either hit the chat or in a game that you watched?
I mean, it has to be the biggest impact. It has to be the Panthers quarterback Justin Fields out for 4 weeks. It's gonna miss the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Number one seed Panthers. This is gonna affect my rankings too. I don't want to spoil anything yet, but I'm sure it will affect yours too. This is a team that's been running with Justin Fields the whole time, and all of a sudden, so unexpectedly, we have to turn it over to Jacoby Brissett. So for me, that's the biggest one. It's funny you say that because you and I are one of those few teams, or several teams that actually suffered injuries, right? You had
Mm-hmm.
A.T. Perry, your wide receiver, who was pretty involved in your offense, go down. He's out for another 2 weeks. I have my starting strong safety Jordan Battle. He was out for 7 weeks.
I know, dude. I've never
He's
seen one that long.
Yeah, ruptured disc. He broke his back, spinal, out. And there's a bunch of other. I know we mentioned Texans, and those are all playoff teams rolling into the playoffs, catching this injury bug at the end all of a sudden.
A couple other ones. Jets had a few injuries, and we were clowning on him in the chat. Devin Bush went out, Chris Olave went out, and La'el Collins. Three huge starters for him. He lost. And then another one today. In basically a meaningless game for Christian against Lou, he lost Xavier Worthy, his speedster wide receiver, who has a rookie, went to superstar, a guy that I drafted and traded to Christian. Probably his best weapon on offense is now out for 4 weeks. Probably going to miss the whole playoffs.
Wow, yeah, that's gonna be a tough one to overcome. Giants center Corey Linsley, 88 overall center. I mean, that's a big blow for your running back, especially for somebody who likes to, you know, play the balanced type of style. Like it's not like you don't really care about center because you're not running the ball. He's only out for one more week, so it looks like. Oh, I guess he's gonna be back for week wild card, right? Because we haven't advanced yet. Okay, never mind. He's good. Um, yeah, Jets is tough. I mean, Olave, Bush, uh,
Well, dude, hold on,
and
hold on. I just actually checked
uh-huh.
Dolphins. I wasn't actually watching the Dolphins game. I was out at the mall, and uh, Joke texts me, and he's just like, "Dude, Xavier Worthy just got hurt, dislocated shoulder." He's not on the injury report. I guess they
No.
popped it back in.
Hey,
Dislocated shoulders.
yeah, just pop it back in, shoot it up, put a sleeve, not a sleeve, but put a little like a brace on it so he doesn't get hyperextended. Send him back in the game. I mean, he probably didn't even need it.
Damn.
that's a huge relief.
I was like giddy on the way home. I was telling Cynthia, I was like, "Remember when I traded Xavier Worthy? He's out, but I guess he's not out."
Yeah, he's gonna be back. Looks like, but yeah, those are some of the bigger playoff impactful injuries. I mean, you got Saints couple of guys on the IR. Steelers TDP.
Oh,
He was injured for the end of the season, 4 weeks, I think. Um, Missed the rest of the season, and then Texans left guard also. Broken ribs out for 2 weeks. So if the Texans manage to advance to divisional, he'll be back. But I mean, it's gonna be impact. It's gonna have a huge impact going down to the wild card rounds. I mean, this is probably um the most on both sides, especially because AFC is always competitive, but even NFC, like I don't all these teams I see, these are like good games lined up. I don't think there's a lot of gimmies. There's a couple of it there here and there, but there's a lot of good games lined up, and it's gonna be hard to predict who's gonna win.
before we move on to playoffs, last point on injuries. Justin Fields definitely, I think we agree, biggest injury by far,
Mhm.
quarterback injury. When's the last time a quarterback has gotten that we've seen a quarterback injury? We've talked about it before that QBs don't get injured in Madden. Like, do you remember one?
No, I don't remember one. So, and we've had some crazy running quarterbacks. I mean, you used to have Spencer Rattler that you probably put some miles on that.
Oh yeah,
So, um, yeah, it's interesting to see somebody. Maybe his injury rating's low and it's unusual, but I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely something worth looking into in an off season. Like this Panthers organization have a bad, training staff. Is
yeah.
there?
Their strength and conditioning
Yeah,
figured out.
exactly. Yeah.
But also like that in Madden's defense and in the defense of the Panthers organization and their training staff, that drive, that was like desperation drive for Stevie. He was
Mm,
running every single play with Fields. And then finally, it was like that Russ play against the Chiefs where he like
yeah.
sold out for the first down right outside the end zone. And it was like, all right, well, left it all out there on that play. And now he's
Yeah,
gone.
he was. Yeah, I imagine he was probably fatigued going down,
Hmm.
driving down the field, which he was so amazing in that game too. Just kind of like
Yes.
on top of it, making plays after plays after play. Um, and he was a heartbreak. He was a heartbreaker because as soon as we went down, we were like, okay, yeah, this is like Super Bowl aspirations. All this stuff is in question now. Like, what I would be puzzled. I would be like, what are we doing now? What's
Well,
the goal here?
dude, I think we're both kind of superstitious with this stuff, and we love Team of Destiny narratives, and
Mhm.
we love this stuff. And Stevie did say in the chat like a week ago that Week 18 against the Broncos was his Super Bowl. Justin Fields treated that drive like it was the Super Bowl, and like he went out and did he jinx himself? Did he curse himself by saying that?
I
I
li-
think I have to think
yeah,
he did.
yeah, he has to be a jinx. I mean, I I thought it was a bad idea him going to the Super Bowl in the first place.
Yeah.
But I mean, I understand he was just trying to put a little chip on his shoulder, get a little motivation. There was not a lot of meaning in that game as far as like maybe that was a good test, but and
Hmm.
then as far as like test, like I think he held up before Justin Fields was out. He was just down 7, I believe, driving to tie it up over there on was it third quarter, maybe fourth quarter, but yeah, fourth quarter, yeah. So now, I mean, seeding he was locked in the playoffs, and you can't blame anybody for just trying to win or whatever. But I was saying that I was like, if anybody deserved that injury, it was Justin Herbert because I was like, the game prior, we had all that controversy of him, scoring 13 touchdowns and still staying in the game. This is
Hmm.
classic. Uh, what was it Staley? Last year's Week 18 playoff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Chargers head coach got Mike Williams hurt for
Hmm.
no reason. Kind of like that's what I felt. I was like, man. But ironically, RK was born with that great luck on his side, so he was his opposing quarterback who went down with the injury. So we'll see how that affects the Panthers. I mean, NFC, anything can happen in the playoffs. Any team, any given Sunday. So we'll see.
Absolutely. So we're gonna do the playoff preview. Geez, sorry, my
Mhm.
eyes. I still got this sinus infection, so sorry if I keep touching my eye.
No, yeah,
It's
you
like
shedding
water.
tears for Justin Fields. I get it, man. I'm
It's true. It
had
it is
another tear
sad,
there.
dude. It was heartbreaking. I mean, we were watching the game together because we were just fucking around head to head watching the game,
Yeah,
and it's like, damn, we should have been commentating this game. Like, it was an epic game. Every time Broncos would score, Panthers would answer right back. It was
yeah.
just like long drive, long drive, long drive. It was
Mhm.
awesome. But since we don't have the seeding down yet, there's a few games still left to be played. We're not going to go through the wild card round and take our picks on games. What
Mhm.
we're going to do is Levon and I did our playoff power rankings 1 through 14. So let me tease this for you guys here. We've got our playoff power rankings board. We got 1 through 14, Jock on the left, Levon on the right, two logos for each team. We're going to start at 14 and work our way up until we have our 1 through 14 power rankings, and we can average them out. If the other pod does it, we'll have like an AP coaches poll type of deal for all the playoffs teams. I think it'll be cool.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think this is going to
Sounds
be
good.
exciting too, because like these seeds are so the seeds are so not indicative of like the teams standing in the conference, right? Like these seeds are all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you got the typical, weak division. People who prey on weak divisions. You got some teams that barely making the playoffs with a really good record already. So this is kind of like shadowing the DNVR boy pod when they were talking about playoff seeding a couple of pods. I think last week they were saying division winners. I think Hank was arguing for going back to 6 seed uh, playoff with 1 and 2 getting the bye, you know, which was
Mm-hmm.
dumb. I disagree with it, but I did. Somebody made a point that it's weird how division titles matter so much in the playoff sitting, and I did. I didn't really care for it before till I came into a division where it's so hard to get a title, and those wild card spots get filled out real fast. So, um, yeah, look, and that's to your point about these seedings, but we'll see. We'll see how it ends up. I mean, it's still gonna be very good matchups because there are some really, really, really good teams in the playoffs. Everybody deserved it. A lot of we should see some upsets. We should see some back and forths. Hopefully, some high scoring games. I'm excited.
Yeah, not 105 points, but high scoring for sure. Let's before we get into the power rankings, let's
Uh-huh.
close this out for a second. I want to get a couple rapid fire takes from you because, like that the DMVR boys we're talking about. We don't need to dive into them too much. I just want rapid fire your takes. Peyton Manning, if his career was only the 4 seasons in Denver, Hall of Famer, yes or no?
Uh no, I don't think. Like, what's the scenario? Like, he got hurt and then he never played again.
Yeah, like an Andrew Luck type, just kind of
Yeah,
like
no, he can't.
I,
Yeah,
I
I think
agree
I
with you.
think people are gonna make that one record breaking season for this Hall of Fame case, but the whole point of Hall of Fame is greatness and consistency, right?
Yeah,
And if anything, Peyton Manning had like one like historic year and then one really good offensive year, and then two kind of like especially last year really drags that overall down too. So no, my answer is no. I know you said quick answers, but
no, yeah, that's a good answer. It's like if would Priest Holmes a Hall of Famer? No, like he had the best rushing season ever, and he's not
yeah,
a Hall of Famer.
yeah.
So, and then the other one, J.J. Watt, is he an all time great?
Absolutely, he's all time great.
Yeah,
That's a silly take, but RK too. I was I was listening. I think RK likes to kind of like make up his own rule when he has a take that he doesn't want to back down from. Yeah, JJ Watt's absolutely all time great. I think Hank and Zach did a good job making that case for him. I
dude,
mean,
what was it?
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm a 3-time DPOI, uh, and then I didn't even know that he was the only one uh, pass rusher who's ever had 320 plus sack seasons.
Damn, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think that it is. Arcade trying to like bump him into all the edge rushers, but JJ Watt lines up inside too. I feel like, doesn't he? He gets
Yeah, he
inside push shots.
does.
But yeah, he's all over the place. I think he's an all-time great, and probably like arguably top 3 in his position. So
Yeah, that's all time great for me as well. Stevie saying, "Hi guys, just caught up on the first segment, crying." Yeah, we were crying yesterday, bro. It was sad.
yeah,
It was a sad day.
yeah, we shed a tear for you, bro. You you think Von Miller is a all-time great compared to JJ Watt?
I think they're both all time greats.
I think
Like, I
so
think
too.
all
Yeah,
time great is a bigger pool than
yeah.
it's like everybody that's probably like a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think is
Mhm.
all time great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And both of those guys are gonna make it being play Hall of Fame, the first ballot. I'm confident in it. And one had a very successful playoff performance. One was a regular season. It's like
Yeah,
compared to like Peyton Manning to Tom Brady. Like obviously both are very, very good. One was more of a actually Tom Brady had a lot of great regular season success too, but you know what I'm getting at.
I get your point. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, I think it's hilarious. It's like, I think it was such a slam dunk argument because Zach and Hank agreed. It's almost like Zach disagrees with Hank to a fault, dude. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, Hank said it. Yeah, nah. It's like he always is disagreeing with Hank, like almost like it's a bit. It's so funny.
Oh yeah, and then he doesn't hold it back either. And it's funny. I think we mentioned it. Shit rolls downhill, and then Hank takes it out, and yeah, it's funny. It's funny to listen to watch that fucking little snowball
A
goes all the way
snowball
around.
of bullying, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, like Zach takes it out on Henry, and then Henry takes it on Yahir. And dude, and Yaya saying like, "Oh, I wonder who's gonna make that graphic." It's like it's your job, dude. That was fucking hilarious, man.
yeah, yeah. Hank was dunking on him there. That was good.
And then he came back the next day and made a great graphic when they were doing like the top 5 offensive linemen. That was a good graphic by Yaya for sure.
Oh yeah,
All right, let's do league member spotlight.
LMS. Let's do it.
Unless we had any more DMVR takes. Sorry, I noticed I cut you off there.
Oops. I guess you missed
Yeah,
that.
get your Crystalia button.
I was too late on it. All right. No, we good. We can move on to LMS.
All right, cool. So I can't believe we haven't done this guy. I feel like I've said this like for a few guys in a row, but
Mhm.
it's the big boss. It's Mr. 98 points from a couple weeks ago. It's Timmy, the commish. So
Ah,
let's get this out of the way so you can go to sleep. I know it's late over there. Timmy is 24 years old. He lives in Stockholm, Sweden. What does he do for work? He is a sales manager for Power Sweden, which is a consumer electronics company managing all sales for the company here in sound, vision, tele, photo, and computing. Basically, everything not named white goods.
white goods.
What are white goods?
I don't know. I'm interested to see what the black goods are. That's gonna get clipped.
Yeah, what are white goods?
Yeah.
Like pickleball rackets,
Yeah. Like, I don't even know. I don't even know. This is more
picnic
your area.
baskets. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Golf equipment.
Golf equipment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know, Timmy, what white goods are because we're probably wrong.
Yeah.
All right, I asked him what's his favorite Madden or DMVR memory, and he goes, "There's 3 that comes to mind. Sorry if it's too many." I think we can give him 3 based on all the work that Timmy's done for the league. I think that's fair.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
All right, cool. Number 1, the first memory is when I called what was then called BSN on their hotline and asked a question to RK and Zach, and they freaked out that a Swede called in. That was so dope. Damn.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, BSN days. What was the call about? I wonder.
I don't know, but that would be like if somebody called into this show and like wasn't part of the league and was like, "I've been watching your streams, like and following the league and listening to the pod," and we'd be like, "Holy shit,
Oh,
we got some reach."
yeah, we would be pretty hype, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
All
one.
right. Number 2, when the actual league was created, we had a small group of people. I shot a video of me adding all the names in the bowl and picking them out for people to get their teams. We had regular rosters that time, and you could really get fucked on that name drawing. Shout out Caleb, Brian, Scott, Dallin, Stevie, Edge for being here from the very start. Damn, those are the OGs.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. And number 3,
All the OGs are still in the league. They just named, right?
All those guys. I wonder if he left out anybody that was like an original member that's not here anymore.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
All right, so number 3, when the DMVR crew first joined the league, more specifically RK and Spano, he plugged it on the pod that he joined, and my inbox flooded. Crazy experience and one of the most amazing days ever.
Yeah,
That is really cool.
that was pretty cool. I mean, that's how I found out. Um, I feel like I've been trying to get into that league for longer than when I actually long before actually got in, but I don't really remember. I might have gotten I'll put you on a wait list, and then I think he reached out finally to me like a year later, and he was like, "Hey, spot opened up." So
Damn, yeah, that's a good point. I should check between like when I first sent the email to Timmy from Sweden and then when he hit me back. I would like to know how long I was on the wait list. Definitely not as long as you.
yeah,
All right, so fun fact about Timmy.
yep.
I've played foot. Oh wait, favorite Madden player. I skipped this. Okay, he went with a player, not like a user, and they've been together for 3 Maddens in a row now. Okay, and Timmy in the comment, while you think of this, Timmy in the comment says, white goods are dishwashers, washing machines, freezers, etc. Everything boring you need in the home that's electronic. I don't handle those stuff though. White
So
goods.
we're just gonna call the boring stuff white. Adds up, I guess.
It does.
We were pretty close on our guesses.
We were.
Yeah.
All right, you got any guesses for his favorite player?
Um, you know, when I think about it, my brain goes to his stupid running back he had last year,
Yeah, Trey Sermon. It's not
Trey
him.
Sermon. It's not him. Then
Mm-mm.
no, he just wait, linebacker. Isn't it linebacker? No.
Mm-mm.
Okay, then I don't know.
D line,
Yeah.
D tackle.
Oh, I do know. Fuck.
He's got a name that you could easily forget.
Yeah, is it not Clay, not Corey, not
You're very
something with a
close.
C? Yeah. Just I know who it is though.
Anybody in the chat want to take a guess? Timmy's favorite player? Last 3 Maddens, D line.
Damn it, I know
I'll
this.
give him to the end of the fun fact to guess. All right.
All right.
Fun fact. I've played football myself, was ranked the number 1 cornerback in Sweden when I was 16, and qualified for the Swedish national football team. Damn, number 1 out of what, like 6? I got a knee injury, which stopped me.
Hey, that's still pretty good.
Number 1 is number 1.
Yeah.
I'm just messing, Timmy. He got a knee injury, which stopped me from playing a game, sadly. Oh, okay. When he got qualified for the national team, he got a knee injury, so he couldn't play for them. I was away in Florida for a training camp with them at the IMG Academy, which was kind of dope. Damn, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
Trout has a guess. It's not correct, but does that help you get it?
Oh, that was gonna be my guess. Frank Clark. Yep. So I
It's
guess
Kenny Clark,
Kenny Clark.
defensive tackle, plays for the Packers.
What's Frank Clark? He's
Frank
like
Clark
an
is
edge.
the edge, yeah.
Okay, close.
All right. And then anything else for Timmy? Just a big fucking thanks to everyone for making this league what it is. I can't tell you how much I appreciate each and every one of you. This league is such a big part of my life, and it's because of the people in it, above all else. Love y'all. All right, Timmy. That's our commish.
Yep. The boss man, the dong himself. Yeah, he definitely put the league on his back. I mean, he still is obviously, but you guys explained the commish chat, but for a while, I feel like even when you and I first got in, I was like, Timmy was just doing everything here and there, back and forth. He had to lay back a little bit, but yeah, I don't think we could have asked a better commissioner. So shout out to Timmy.
Yeah. And I won't steal his thunder too much on this, but he is the brains and the work that went into the allmadden.com website and like getting the merch, all that stuff up and running. That's all Timmy with the help of ChatGPT. But like, he's a beast. Kid loves it.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. The kid wonder.
All right. Let's get into these power rankings. What all playoff teams have been waiting for. What's up?
Before we transition, I was able to pull up my email. So the first time I requested, damn, this is crazy. So first time I messaged or sent him an email was May 26th of 2020.
May 2020. Okay.
and he replied the same day, said, "Hey, I've had you wait list. When time comes, I will get back to you." And he got back to me on October 19th of 2021. So a year and a half later, he gets back to me and he's like, "Hey, what did he say? Hold on.
Two and a half. Wait, you said 2.5 years?
No,
No, no,
year and a half. Year and a
year and
half.
a half. Okay, okay.
Yeah. So and then he told me we have one team open as of now, Cardinals. And then he just asked me his questions if I wanted to join. I was like, yeah. And then we joined.
Damn, that's crazy. I emailed him a year after you, June 21st, 2021. But when he let me know that there was an opening, I could choose between the Cowboys, Cardinals,
Whoa,
and the 49ers.
whoa,
I
what is
jumped you.
going on here? That fucking bastard. I'll take everything I say back.
That's awesome.
Dick. Let me
Yeah,
see.
we have, or maybe, yeah, he replied to me October 16th, 2021. That's awesome. All
Yeah.
right, get fucked.
Yeah, I feel I'm offended for sure.
All right, let's get into these power rankings. We got the big board up here. Let me see if I can zoom in on this a little. No. Oh, is this
Oh,
getting bigger?
oh, oh.
Too
Yeah,
big
there
or
we
good?
go. Okay.
Okay.
Looks good.
Do you want to go first?
Oh, I'm getting the first pick. And correct me if I'm wrong, but we're starting at 14 and moving up, right?
No, no correction. Yep, you're 100% correct about that.
All right. As usual, I'm used to it. All right. I think I'm not gonna surprise anybody here. I know our boys in the chat. He's probably gonna be bickering at us as we go. But my 14 is gonna be Cleveland Browns here. Um, Great season. Had a lot of success early in the season, but then he had a bunch of CPU losses. I think a lot of the wins came through with very favorable matchups early, and now in the big leagues with his current record. Let me check his current record. With his current record, he would be tied for the 8th seed. But obviously, he took care of business in division. He's probably gonna finish. He has a chance to finish 11-6. Would put him in uh, yeah, exactly, tie up with the 8th seed. So, but just when he compares to all the other teams across, I think that's, for me, that's the team that I expect the least to move on to the next round.
Okay. All right, and boys, we did not compare notes on this.
Uh-uh.
I haven't seen his rankings. He hasn't seen mine, and I also have the Browns as number 14. And I think it's, for me, it's two things. One, the 105-point game that he just gave up. One of his biggest. I know he got his wrist slapped for it happening, and one of his biggest thing was like, I continue to try to stop him. It's like, okay, that's bad.
That's even worse. Yeah, that doesn't
Yeah.
make me feel good at all. Yeah, about the team and where the
Mhm.
defense is at. So especially that. Listen, man, that defense is absolutely stacked. So for you to have such a defensive, such a just a
Set of
pool
team.
of crazy,
Yeah.
amazing players on that defense, like for you to allow somebody to pull 105 points on you, and you claim you did not mean to let that happen, that worries me for sure. I mean,
Mhm.
just play cover, just play cover four. Just
Yeah,
play
and then the
cover.
other thing is like everybody's been eyeing up this 5 seed. Like I want the 5 seed because I know I'm going to
Mhm.
play the Browns. Like if that's what everybody in the AFC thinks, like I got
Mm,
to go with the Browns here.
yeah, that's also true. Okay, I guess let's move on to third
Mind if I
team.
go? Want to go alternate? You want to alternate, like choosing first?
Yeah, go ahead. You go next.
Sweet. All right, a team that I just played today. I think they're very capable of making a run, but I'm like they just had such a weak division this year. Like they're not very battle tested, and they're 9-7. So I'm going to go with Derek and the Cardinals.
Dang, that's tough. That's tough because for the similar reasons, the Browns were my last pick. This is the same reason I would put Derek in here. You kind of mentioned it, division. Kind of like beat down on his division. Uh, Took care of business with his current record. If he was not a division winner, he would not be in a playoffs. So for me, yeah, Cardinals also number 13. Hopefully, we're not too close on these.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right. Who you got for 12? I think we'll probably deviate here.
Yes. This one's tough for me and it hurts me, but I think with the things we talked about earlier, I'm good with
Oh,
Panthers here.
wow.
I think
No.
yes, I think Jacoby Brissett, even with the week, it's crazy. I mean, are they retaining the number one seed? I wonder. Did anybody have a chance to steal that seed?
I think Giants have a chance.
And they're playing the Cowboys. So, if they if they steal the number one seed and they have to play the, they would make them play Cowboys, right? That would be a tough matchup. I mean, there's no really gimmies in playoffs, not even in NFC this year. So, without the quarterback that you've not used to playing, and when you replace that with a quarterback that's 99 overall, very good, very easy and fun to play with. Now you just kind of have to really dial back in on an instant. It's not something that he's been practicing, I'm sure. So,
Mhm.
it's sad. It saddens me, but I think this is where this is where I stand with Panthers.
It's like it's the opposite of ankle weights, right? He's
Yeah.
been and I've always had a hard time thinking about like what is the opposite of ankle weights, but it kind of just came to me. I don't know if anybody can relate to this, but I swam a lot growing up. And if you ever swam with flippers on and then took your flippers off, it feels like you cannot move. You feel like you're sinking. Like
Really?
so he's been using fields all year. He's been swimming with flippers on. Like it has been
Yeah.
easy. He's been gliding through the water. Now
Mhm.
he's got him off. He's got Jacoby Brissett. It's not like he doesn't have weapons around Jacoby Brissett. Like they're going to be able to move the ball, but it's going to be a massive adjustment.
Yeah, and to be fair, I think 12, and there's like a mile distance between 13 and 14 and 12. I think this is kind of where it gets tough. There's a lot of bunch of them grouped. I just think that the circumstances only is what affected this pick for me.
Mm-hmm. Damn, so tough.
Yeah, it
All
is.
right. Well, I said we would deviate here, and I was right. So because I don't have the Panthers this low, I mean I definitely dropped them a little bit, but they're not 12 for me. So number 12, a team that lost today. They've had a really
Mhm.
impressive season. It's the Packers. So elite defense, but another like not a lot of playoff success. Like I don't know. I just don't trust them that much.
Yeah. Um, I was tuning in that game. Yeah, that was it was tough, man. I feel like even at the end, they had three timeouts. They were on the goal line, and uh, if they scored, they would be down 7 points with three timeouts. They could have maybe got a stop and tried for a play, but I didn't really see a lot of fighting. Them just ran three times in a row. Uh, it was a half back draw. Just ran out of clock pretty much. So, um, I understand why Packers would be here. They do have a very good defense,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know what their matchup's gonna be. Right now, they're matched up to play against Edge, so back-to-back games. But I'm sure that's gonna change. Maybe it drops down to 3 seed because depending what
Yeah,
Giants do, right? And
that's
maybe
the most that he could drop. There's no way he drops to 4.
he is. What is he at? He's 12-5. Panthers are 13-4. Giants are 12-4. So yeah, if Giants win, looks like they're gonna move up and he's gonna come back down to number, yeah. Oh no, yeah,
So
because
if you're the Packers, who would you rather play, the Lions or the Cowboys?
I don't know. I don't That's tough, a tough question. I still think you would rather play Lions.
Mm-hmm.
It's a team you know. Uh I wonder what's the history is. If I knew what their overall record was, I'd probably have a better answer for you. But I do have a lot of confidence in Dan, so for me, that's a more dangerous team than the Lions.
Okay.
And it's only a 7 point game. We're still talking about it's right there. So
Yeah.
you eliminate a couple of mistakes there, and you might be looking at a different outcome. But All right. Who
All
you
right,
got?
I got my 11 here. A team that is a wild card team, just notched an impressive win, and is using a new playbook, and is getting the
Ah.
feel for it. And it's the Lions. It's Edge.
Mm-hmm.
A team that's been, I think Edge is probably, he's either 2 for 3 or 3 for 3 on making the playoffs this Madden. I don't know if he has a playoff win. Correct me if I'm wrong about that, Edge, but I feel like he's due. He's due for a playoff win.
Okay. And then we'll see what his matchup looks like. And for him, who you would like to think that he's
Running
probably,
back with the Packers.
yeah, running back with
Yeah.
Packers. Seems like he cut him off the guard with a new playbook. Love to see that. We'll wait. We'll wait to see you, bro. Um, uh, looking at all that, I mean, Cardinals. Maybe you like to see Cardinals if he can move up to 5 seed. I don't know if that's possible for him, but
Nah,
definitely
Falcons
want to
got
see the
5 seed
Giants.
locked.
Yeah, I don't think you want to see Giants or the uh Panthers over Packers, who you just beat pretty easily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed.
Mm-hmm.
All right, who you got at 11?
I also have the Lions here, and we're not gonna spend too much time talking about it, but that's where I'm at.
Well, check out what Edge just put in the chat. He has not lost to the Packers yet this Madden.
Ooh. So that's great news for him. Then I guess they're rooting for the Washington then to win, right?
To win, and then that would probably keep the Packers in the 2 seed. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so much. There's still so much moving in the NFC that needs to be done. That's why it's tough to talk about the
Yeah, play your
matchups.
games, guys. Let's
Yeah,
finish
seriously.
this up. My wife's about to pop any day. We got to get this playoff started. I cannot come in here and come in here and miss some games. All right. So number 10 for my turn to choose.
It is your turn. We are in the top 10.
These are tough. Okay, these are tough, and I think I'm gonna take it back a little bit, and I'm gonna put the Raiders here. Um, I do think that this team can beat any team in the playoffs, NFC or AFC. I think they're very competitive, very high powered offense, and defense always plays really well at the end of the season. But this is the first time in the playoffs in this Madden. Even coming out of the tough division, tough conference, very tight race, and once again, 7 seed squeezing in. Um, we got a very very tough task ahead. Alex, who has that 2 seed locked up and is coming off an incredible run. I mean, I think he won 9, 10 in a row. So with all the remaining teams, I think Raiders find themselves right there, right outside. Oh, right at the 10th for me. I think that's a sweet spot.
Very modest. Good for you, bro. Showing a lot of humility putting yourself at 10.
Yeah.
All right, I won't talk about the Raiders because when I put them on my board, I will, but that's not right now. I got the Panthers here. Like I said, I dropped the Panthers, not as far as you did. I wrote notes for all of these teams in my rankings, and my
Mhm.
note for the Panthers is their season ended last week.
Yeah, and you know, not to go back to what I was saying, but that's the reason why really he dropped. I mean, Panthers would have been easily top 5, if not top 3 for me. They would definitely be hanging out in
Oh,
that
yeah.
range. Doesn't matter the outcome against the Broncos last week. I'm saying like throughout just knowing how dangerous Justin Fields is, how dangerous those weapons are. But I think the blow was too much for me to consider them as over teams like Lions or the Raiders who have their quarterbacks.
I will say this: Stevie is always looking to put a chip on his shoulder, and sometimes I feel like he needs to manufacture one. Not now, like, dude.
I,
The chips are
I hope you
stacked
help.
against.
I
They're
hope.
on your shoulder, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Don't take this like I'm rooting against him. I'm rooting for
Oh
him,
yeah.
and hopefully this gives him motivation. I'll be the happiest guy out of everybody if he finds success with Jacoby Brissett. And then to kind of like find a silver lining here. Jacoby Brissett had a lot of success in Pittsburgh.
Hey,
Couple of
yeah,
seasons back,
dude.
so it's not he's no bum. Well, he's a bum kind of, but Yeah.
But we've seen him win playoff games in this league, so
Yep.
it can be done.
Exactly. Led the Steelers to number one seed, I believe, right? Wasn't it?
Yep. Number one seed and AFC Championship appearance.
Yeah. So as a backup, you probably couldn't find a better backup than Jacoby Brissett right now.
Jarrett Stidham, but
Mm, sure thing, bud. All right.
is it my turn?
Yes. I picked the Raiders.
Right. Okay, my number 9. You might think this is a little low for this team, but this team has been absolutely crumbling down the stretch. They started 10-1, and they're going into the playoffs at 12-5. So they're 2-4 in their last 6. It's the Dolphins.
Damn. Yeah. That's where I had Dolphins too. Just
Oh
ahead
wow.
just ahead of the Raiders. I think they, I was a little hesitant putting Raiders above Dolphins, but Dolphins have had success against Raiders early in the season. I think week one they beat me down pretty good, so I gave them the benefit of the doubt as a team overall. But you're right, man. I mean, even this game against Lou, the game was close for a while.
Yeah.
There was no domination. There was no really and last score is 30. Final score is 30-8. But I'm not really confident in Christian right now as I was before. I remember I was so high on the Dolphins just because I see him play against me in week one. I was like, and then they went on a great winning streak, and I was like, this is. I think I called them AFC's favorites, and then last 4 weeks they kind of, you're right. Anthony Richardson fell out of. He was number 2 in MVP race. He was number 2 on my quarterback rankings, and kind of like tumbled down. Came back down to earth. So we're gonna have to see Dolphins find that um, early success against very tough team in the playoffs against the Patriots. So
Well,
go ahead.
they were 10-1, right? And then they went up 21-7 against the Patriots. I score 40 straight against him. I play him a few weeks later. I beat him 34-3. Okay. So the Patriots basically broke the Dolphins this season, I would say.
Yeah, I
Can
mean,
can he reinvent himself? He's probably going to play me in the playoffs. Can he reinvent himself between now and this
mhm.
playoff game? Do you think he has a chance?
Yeah, I wouldn't pick it. I wouldn't pick him to get that turned around so soon, just because I've been there. I've been there against tough opponents like that. So um, you're right, man. That game changed everything. That 21 uh, point lead, I feel like disappeared
It was
with
a
his.
lifetime ago.
Yeah. It did feel like it was a lifetime ago, but they kind of like turned the whole feeling how to feel again with the Dolphins, kind of like old, flipped it upside down. So
Hmm.
he has an uphill batter for sure. Again, I think he's still a very innovative play caller. Some fresh, he mixes it up, run pass. He can attack it from all over. And Anthony Richardson has been developed to a point where he's a threat from the pocket as well. So I just don't like his first round matchup for sure.
All right, we're 6 picks in. Before you pick number 8, we'll do a little recap. We've got 5 of the same teams picked.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Packers and you have the Raiders. That's our only difference.
Right.
Interesting. I'm interested to see when you put the Packers on the board.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go
Is it
ahead.
my turn?
Yep.
And then that's where I go Packers.
Okay.
I think Packers we're holding on to that 2 seed. They've had really good season, and then I'm not gonna overreact over this one loss, 7-point loss to the Lions. I do believe that they were number one, if number two rated defense. They were they kind of like cleaned up NFC North. You're talking about taking care of business against I guess besides the Lions, but everybody else they took care of business. Let me go over their schedule real fast to kind of like point out some of the notable wins losses for him.
Okay.
So let's see, beat the Bears twice. Has a huge win over the Texans. And beat the Commanders, beat the Cardinals, So some definitely has playoff teams beaten in those in that run, and then only losses came against Jets. I don't know. I think it was a CPU Ramsey lost to, and then the Lions 2 losses, obviously. So not. I don't see a lot of bad losses. Oh, actually, now that we talk about bad losses, Colts 2013 loss in week 16, 3 times played. I don't. I wonder what kind of these things look like. I missed that one. You got any insight on that game?
No, I don't.
No. Okay. Well, record by itself, the defense, the running back, the DTR is playing well. He's kind of like a ultimate game manager type of player. He's fast on his feet. He can make all the throws. Has a really good arm. So, uh, this might be the best time for him to get that lion monkey off his back.
Yeah, and I mean, you pretty much nailed everything about the Packers. I think the only thing I would add is 7-1 at home, has a home playoff game, so that bodes well for him. This season he was 7-1 at home. And then he was the second best scoring defense. So only two
Mm,
teams allowed less than 300 points. He allowed 296 and the Patriots allowed 270, but then after that it's the Broncos at 353. So there's a huge gap between
yeah,
like 1 and 2 and the rest of the league. So,
yeah, and
you know,
then
we've been saying it all season.
yeah, when it gets cold and you get in Lambeau Field, you you,
That's funny, Derek.
it is funny. Uh, it gets cold. Defense in the playoffs is huge. Hopefully you can step up and kind of like find that magic that he was working with early. Because the
All
loss to
right.
Colts doesn't sit right with me for sure.
I know, but like outside this season, like Beeve beating JJ, that doesn't seem that crazy to me.
Right.
Like the way it's gone, like Colts have been really bad, Packers have been really good, but like
Yeah, for
he
sure.
was all right. All right, my number 8 might surprise you. It's the Jets. And it's the Jets because I don't think this is their fault. They've had a ton of CPU games and like sim wins. Um, oh, and a correction from Lou. JJ did lose to Zach, not the CPU. Okay. That's thank you,
Oh,
Lou. That's actually big.
interesting. Yeah, that is huge, and that's a bad loss for sure.
That is. But my point about the Jets was going to be, yeah, they've had their CPU wins and losses, and they've had a couple fair sims, but he hasn't had a good win. Like I said, not his fault since week 7. Like he hasn't been in like a dogfight that he came out on top in 10 weeks. So to go from like all these CPU games into the playoffs, like I don't know, he could be a little rusty when it comes to like dealing in these like very sweaty, intense games.
Yeah, for sure. And then we're talking about, as far as matchups goes, he got lucky in the first matchup, I think. But is that a good thing? Is that a good thing moving forward in the playoff race? Is the question you would ask. Is
Hmm.
it a good thing to face another? Probably. I mean, we both put him at the 14th place, the Browns. Because if he wins that game, he has to play either the Patriots or the Texans, right? He would play the higher seeds.
Mm.
Yeah, unless Dolphins and Raiders both lose, and then he has to play RK. So there's no really, there's not. It's gonna be like kind of like a big jump from competition, as you said, since week 7. So yeah, I mean, I don't disagree too much. I don't disagree at all.
Okay. All
And
right. So I
then
guess it's me again, or yeah.
yes, it's you again.
All right. Now is when I put up the Raiders. Raiders are my 7 team. Coach Levon finally back in the playoffs. Will play Alex. Has been dreaming about this matchup for literally months. That's
I
why I
need my
think
revenge. Yeah.
That's why I put you so high, dude. I feel like I'm very confident in the Raiders week 1. Not to blow too much smoke up your ass, but I think
Okay.
and you beating Stevie a couple weeks ago I thought was very impressive. Like I'm ready to see the Raiders go on a little run here.
Okay, I'd love to see that. Yeah, I've been waiting for this revenge game against Alex that he knocked me off the playoffs on my Super Bowl run in an NFC conference championship last Madden. He took my dream away. So I'm coming for you, Alex. I'm taking this one. So and then to be honest, out of all the other matchups, and then this is tough outside of the Browns. I would much rather play the Texans than Patriots, and then obviously Jets. They usually, I think him and I split here and there, but there's no easy games for me to play. And again, excluding the Browns, but
Right.
I feel like over the Patriots and Texans, I'd rather play the Texans.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah. All right, so I'll go here. I'm putting Jets up here. Um, we just kind of discussed it. I'm not gonna add too much to it. We're gonna have to. I think I'll his favorable matchup definitely affects his ranking here. I think he's gonna be a division. He's gonna win that wild card round. Uh, kind of like 7-14. He's like the. I would put him at the lowest of the top tier teams. On the top tier teams are the 14 teams.
I saw something and it was like sometimes the most dangerous place to be is when you're good. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're not like great and you're not crushing it, or you're not in like rock bottom where like if you're in rock bottom, you kind of need to change
Mm-hmm.
everything about what you're doing. If you're good and you're like constantly a 5, 6 seed, you can talk yourself into like, oh, this is great. I don't need to change anything about what I'm doing. I'm consistently making the playoffs. But I think the Jets and the Dolphins kind of are in the same boat, that what they're doing right now is not going to put them in a position to win a Super Bowl. So they kind of need to tear it down in order to find a little bit of a new approach to like take that next step up. So they're kind of in a dangerous spot of like a little too good to not need to change, but probably could use a change.
Gotcha. You think? What do you think it? What do you think it takes for them to? You think they gotta? If they lose to the Browns, you think is that kind of like a wake up call? Does that? What is the
I don't
chance
know.
of that
I think
happening?
I don't,
What?
yeah, I don't think that'll happen. And I think if Dolphins lose to the Patriots, I don't think it'll be like, oh, okay, I lost to the Patriots. They're one of the best teams. I still made the playoffs. I
Mhm.
don't know if it'll do it. Um, and I don't want to go into it too much because I'm going to play the Dolphins, so I don't want to give them too much advice or anything on how to turn it around. But we can talk about it later.
Yeah. Yeah. What? What do you think the odds are for the Browns as dogs? I mean, Browns are definitely gonna be a home team dogs in that matchup. But what's the line?
Yeah, I'm better with spreads than like plus or minus, or like the plus 100 or all that stuff. I would say
What's the
this is
spread?
like at least a double digit spread,
Okay.
like
Yeah, for sure. Like probably
nine and a
like
half, 10.
yeah, yeah. I'm there. I'm there with you. I mean, somebody just dropped a three-digit score on them a week ago.
Yeah.
And Jets got that Micah Parsons screaming off the edge. I don't think that's gonna help Joe Burrow out. You can put as many superstar tight ends you want to put in that offense. Micah Parsons is gonna be in his face all game. So, all right, I guess I go again,
Hmm.
and I think we're approaching that. The blue bloods almost right. I know we have only one or two teams usually up there, but we're approaching those very successful organizations. And I think at the bottom, I would put the Giants. I think this is a good place for our boy Einhorn to come in. He's still, this is probably the most improved team, but this he still has a lot to prove. They were first round exits last year. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Let me check on that. As far as I know,
Uh, Either way, I know they struggle against the Cowboys. If the seeding does not get changed, uh, tough matchup for him. And I believe that's no, they are playing the Washington.
oh, last year in the playoffs, he played the Cardinals on the road and lost 41-7.
Yeah, so a lot to prove still, right?
Damn.
Yeah, first, but that was the season when we're like, oh shit, Einhorn's in the playoffs. Like,
Hmm.
he was the seventh seed. Like we were rooting for him. They were always kind of like a underdog. But now we've had him in a blue bloods category of the teams. I mean, he's been dominating. He's been Queen Ewers has had a lot of success in the offense. So now it's time to come out and show out. It looks like you have division locked up, right? Sorry,
Think
we're
so.
podcasting. Um, He does have 12-4.
Well, he did say. Well, he plays the Commanders tonight. I do know that, but he also said in the chat earlier today he could be 1, 2, like 3, 6.
Yeah, he does not have division locked up because Cowboys are 12-5. He's 12-4 with Washington coming in the house. So if he loses, Cowboys and Washington pretty much flip the places. It looks like he. So I guess he would be the same matchup, except he goes away. But
Yeah, true.
I mean, if you're an Einhorn, you're definitely worried about that one, and you're definitely uh, you're definitely trying to come up with a good game plan. So yeah, yeah, I'm okay
Damn.
with
All right.
yeah, I'm
So
okay with putting the Giants here.
cool. So Einhorn last season, yes, he lost 41-7. That was with Stafford. Now he has Ewers.
Hmm.
Um, damn, 1 touchdown and 7 interceptions for Stafford in that game last season.
Yeah, kind of imploded. Looks like.
All right, but I don't have the Giants here only because. All right, well, I'll explain. I've got the Cowboys here, and I think the
Okay.
Cowboys 6 is a good spot for them. Like that's high. Sixth best team in the playoffs. Like that's great. And I think Dan, it's like George Payton with the draft darts. Like he just keeps getting playoff appearances. He's gonna have a deep run one of these playoffs. Like he's gonna continue to get more comfortable in the playoffs. But like the thing with the Giants or the Cowboys, I was kind of going back and forth in my mind. Like who do I want to rank higher between these two teams? It seems like Giants have been cleaning up the league outside the Cowboys. The Cowboys have been really the
Yeah.
only team that have handled the Giants. So if he can avoid the Cowboys in the playoffs, like the sky's the limit. But is he going to get the Cowboys in round one? It kind of looks like he is. So I don't know.
Yeah. So if they win, they finish 13-4, and that does not put him in a 1 seed because the Panthers are also 13-4. But it might put him in a 2 seed over. Yeah, it will put him over 2 seed over the Packers, and that would mean he would face the Lions. So this is actually a pretty big game for him. If he wins that, kind of avoids Ducks the Cowboys a little bit in the first round, maybe get some momentum against I think much more favorable matchup with the Lions. But but this is you gotta show something here if you're the Giants. As far as the Cowboys go, and I'm gonna kind of roll into my pick here, or is it your time to pick? It's your time to pick.
It's my time, and I
Yeah,
have the Giants here.
gotcha. Okay, so we can talk about it because I have the Cowboys at 5.
Okay,
Uh,
cool.
so yeah, very very kind of like splitting hairs here. These two teams are very very good teams. I am a little bit worried about Cowboys after the last game against against LX. We commentated, we kind of saw up close, some of the flaws in that in our offense, which is kind of lacking of that short to intermediate passing game. Uh, all the things we talked about. I'm not gonna repeat all that stuff. If you want that, rewatch that game commentary. But I still think he's done terrific job developing Malik Willis, uh,
Insane. Yeah.
and then this is same kind of same thing as the Giants. This is the time to show up because you said, as you mentioned earlier, this is the team that's constantly in the playoffs. But I where's the Super Bowl appearances? You've had plenty of shots. Let's get in there. Let's get the business. Let's get to work. Get these games out of your way. If the Giants lose to Washington, you gotta be happy for yourself. I mean, even if you face the Packers, I feel like if you ask me, I think that's a better team. So it's time to get it done.
Dare I say that this is the most interesting storyline on the NFC side of the bracket? Because I think it is, which of these NFC East teams can make a run between the Giants and the Cowboys? We have the Falcons, they're the defending champs. We've got the Packers, they're kind of like the team that's record is a little bit better than what they are. The Panthers with the Jacoby Brissett storyline, that's interesting too.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is it. Like which NFC East team, they're probably going to play each other. Which one can win this game and make a run? I'm
I,
really
I
interested to see it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And to be honest, man, I don't want them to dug each other. I want that matchup right there. Giants, Cowboys, wildcard round, give it to me
Yes.
because I believe whoever wins that game, wins this bracket. If the Giants take it, obviously you were right about Giants. If Cowboys win it, I was about right about the Cowboys, and then we can move on from there. But I mean, these are the good teams, man. These are the teams that are going to be in the playoffs, and they'll have more chances. I But you kind of hit it right on the head, man. It's time for the Cowboys to make some noise in the playoffs.
Yeah, we need it. I would love to commentate this game if it happens round one with you. That'd be
For
awesome.
sure, yeah,
Well, we got the same top four,
we do. I think it's pretty
same
clear.
teams.
Yeah, and I'm already predicting how you're gonna go here, but and it's not gonna be
Okay.
same as mine. Yeah,
All right. Well,
uh,
you're up.
yeah, I'm up. All
Yep.
right, well, let's go. I think my fourth here will be the Falcons.
Oh,
Uh,
I'm surprised coming from a Jason Stan to have them so low,
yeah.
especially when you were talking about Alex, like you're looking forward to playing him.
I am. I mean, that's not. I think that's not really disrespect, though.
Hmm.
That's just me, my personal vendetta against them. I was rooting for that matchup. I
Yeah.
do still think Falcons kind of like had a little rough patch. They had a huge statement win against the Broncos, though.
Hmm.
Knocked them off against from his undefeated season, and this is defending champs. I mean, if you find yourself disrespected at number four, you should, because you should be a number one. But I just think that looking at you as a 5 seed in NFC, it's hard to beat out the Panthers for a division title. But for me, if you was a number one seed in that side of the NFL, I would probably have him much higher.
I wonder if he will take this as disrespect because I also have him at 4,
Hmm.
and let me tell you why. I was looking at some of his losses, dude. And these are teams that he will probably see in the playoffs. He lost to the Panthers, yes, with Fields. He lost to the Giants, 34-22, and he lost to the Lions. 3 teams on his side of the bracket he has lost to this year. Yes, he had the most impressive win. You talked about it against the Broncos, and dude, thank God he did. Now that the season's over and that was the only loss, I'd be so upset if RK was 17-0.
Yeah,
But yeah, I couldn't bring myself to put him ahead of any of the top 3.
yeah. I think top three's. I guess for me, Texans and Falcons are a lot closer than probably for you, but Texans are coming in pretty hot, so it's hard to pick against them right now. So, uh, it's your time to pick, and I'll go next.
Okay, my number 3 is the Patriots.
Hmm.
And the reason is because I have this. It was between the Texans and the Patriots for me. Um, Texans have the same record as the Pats. They beat the Pats in the head-to-head game. Yes, they probably have a little bit easier of a schedule because they're in an easier division, but he's on like an 8-game winning streak right now. So
Yeah,
I'm not losing Debo is big. It is. But I feel like when I play the Texans, I don't even notice Debo because I'm getting hit with Stephon Diggs, Jahan Dotson, both the running backs, Hendo and Swift, Fant, and then he's got Gabe Davis too, who shows up and makes plays as well. Like he's got so many weapons.
yeah, for sure. He's just, I mean, Mr. Fundamental, right? He'll attack you from all the places. It's kind of like hard to dial in on one thing that he does good at. There's a couple of things he's good at. So, um, you know, speaking of Alex, I think that I'm gonna go into it. That's what I pick at number three. I think
Wow.
for me personally, when it comes to the AFC, and he's a big AFC versus NFC guy too, and I think this is why AFC is so much better. It's top heavy, and it's top heavier, and it's middle heavier, if that makes sense, right? I think the top teams are better, and I think overall wild card teams are probably better than NFC wild card teams. So with that being said, I think it's pretty obvious. My number two would be the Patriots here for the same reasons, man. I mean, this team looked like they were struggling in the middle of the season, right? I mean,
6-4,
yeah, 6-4, kind of like
now
letting
13-4. Yep.
letting division getting away from them. Dolphins were kind of like going through everybody over the or the AFC side, and I thought this was it. There, there struggles with a quarterback. A couple of trades happened before the trade deadline. I believe you had, who was it? Who was your quarterback before him?
Davis Mills.
No,
Oh, Desmond Ritter.
Ritter. Yes, Desmond Ritter, and you had another scrub in there running the ball. So
Hey.
Mike Wright, was it?
Yep.
Yeah, Mike Wright. So there was kind of like confusion, like a little phase that you went through, and then finally you found a good pocket passer and playmaker and Henry Hooker, and kind of like got back on tracks and took the division right out of Dolphins' jaws, pretty much, with a huge statement win too. So they put you at 2 for me. Um, and go ahead. What's
Well, could I just
yeah.
little back pat real quick.
Mhm.
Possibly the best defensive season we've seen from a team in all of Madden, dude. 270 points allowed this season. It's like 15 points per game, and 68 interceptions, leads the league in turnovers and points. Just crazy.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. And it's not like nobody's really leading the personal stats. Do you have any interception leaders? I mean, Jeremy Chin's tied with second with 15,
I've got
but
like 4 guys with over
that's what
10.
I'm saying. Yeah, there's so many people that could have went off one game and have been at the top of the charts. And it's
Mhm.
tough. It's tough to play against. And Jeremy Chin's been a staple in that defense, that giant safety looming, and it's gonna be probably big coming up in the playoffs. So we gonna discuss these teams: Texans,
Yeah.
Patriots, Texans. We're not gonna, and then this leaves one team. There's not much to say it, right? The team had a lot of success. The Denver Broncos. Love to see it. It feels good.
It
It
does
feels
feel
right.
good. Yeah, that is like
yeah,
a nice little silver lining. We get to put the
yeah, putting
Broncos
the
at the
Broncos
top.
logo out there. So yeah, Denver Broncos 61 league best record. Uh, MVP front runner, best quarterback front runner, by far. Some
Blows up the
controversy.
record books. Like we'll never touch the records again. Like
Yep, exactly. So, and then let's not forget about that passing attack outside of Herbert. You got uh, receiving leader Aeneas Smith with 46 receiving touchdowns, nearly 3,000 receiving yards. You got Mr. First Snap Deep Shot to Jamar Chase himself, just guy who, when he needs the most, makes a big play for him. Man, it's gonna be a tough task for anybody in the playoffs, and this might be, we've seen RK always find that one unstoppable, I don't want to call it gimmick, but one unstoppable play style that he identifies in almost every Madden. Well, at least for 2 Maddens that we played with him, he had that outside stretch run with Nick Chubb last Madden was so
mhm.
dominant. Now he has that passing attack with Aeneas Smith, which is so dominant. I mean, guy doesn't run the ball ever. He almost got a warning for it. He doesn't run the ball so much. So, uh, yeah, this is the clear number 1 team for us, and whoever matches up, and looks like um, it's either gonna be the Raiders, the Dolphins, or the Jets that he matches up with. Because the Texans are gonna move up to number 2 if they win. Same with the Patriots, and then Browns are probably not winning. So, um, yeah, Raiders, Dolphins, Jets. You will have our hands full if we do move up to the second round of the playoffs.
If you were RK, who would you want to see out of those 3 wild card teams? Which is the easiest matchup out of Jets, Dolphins, Raiders? You're 3-3 against him. I doubt he would choose Raiders.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think he would choose me. He did sweep me this year, but I swept him first year when but that's he was without Aeneas Smith, so maybe I would see him thinking something like, "Hey, with
I
this,
figured out the
yeah, I
Raiders.
figured it out. I figured it out." But I feel like the second game was closer than the first one we played. I don't know what it is. I always start so slow, so when I see tough games early in the season, I have bad losses early in the season. So um RK was my second game. He kind of like, bull rushed me, passed all over me. I couldn't stop him. Second game was a little closer. And then years before that we split. So I would say, I mean, if you have to choose, you want to choose the guys who are coming into the playoffs loose, limping, struggling, and I'm guessing Dolphins would be the one he'd rather play. Definitely doesn't want to play. Hmm.
The one thing
I would.
I wouldn't root for, I would not root to see the Dolphins if I were RK, because one thing about Christian is he can defend the pass really well. He's got good
Mm,
DBs. I
okay.
think he could match up with the Broncos. I think that'd be a really interesting game.
Yeah. No, there we go then. So it's either, yeah, I guess we kind of defaults to Jets,
Yeah, I think
and
yeah, that
yeah,
would be his
then
best option.
that's the case. You would need the Texans and Pats to win, and then yeah, the Jets would be his first matchup in the playoffs. Cool.
That was fun.
That was fun, man. Sorry, I was just a little. I'm a little laid back. I didn't really have coffee before the pod like usually do. So sorry if I wasn't as energetic as I am usually. But I'm glad we got some of the things out of the way too.
Yeah, I just dropped the rankings in the chat. No, and you were fine, dude. You brought the energy for sure. The rankings are in the chat, so come give us a hard time, talk some shit to us. We'd love to defend our takes in the chat. We always do.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, I can't wait for these playoffs. And I will say this to the league: draft probably not going to be until like the weekend of the 22nd,
Mm-hmm.
I think. So take your time with these playoff games. Like, let's try to get some commentators on a lot of them. Now that we've got the commentating thing set up and we can do it pretty easily, like let's just pump the brakes on these playoffs. Take them slow, enjoy them. We're not rushing to a draft that's like a week away. We'd love to see a lot of big audiences for these games.
Yeah. When's advance? Is it tomorrow? No, it's Tuesday, isn't it?
Tuesday morning, yeah.
Tuesday. Looks like Colts are playing right now. How many games do we? Can't be a lot of games left. Chiefs still have to play. The Jets are playing. Jets and Chargers are playing tomorrow. Pittsburgh and Bengals. So we got one, two, three, four meaningless games left. Five. Oh no, Colts are playing right now, so four. Yeah.
Joke, if you're listening to this, if you get a lead, start resting your players. Like I was resting a lot of my players in the fourth quarter against Derek. Like I took out Brian Burns, I took out Will Anderson, Derwin James, Jeremy Chin. I was like, I'm not getting an injury in the last quarter of this game.
I would definitely take some key positions out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't take my quarterback out unless I'm like a running quarterback, but I would be definitely taking out, linemen, D linemen, pass rushers, like guys who get hurt a lot. It always seems like somebody in the trenches or
Yeah, that are
um
just like disconnected from the play. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So running backs sometimes get hurt, receivers. Like I'm definitely taking my no shit. I need this guy to win a game out of the game. So Micah
Mhm.
Parsons would be sitting if I was a joke. Yeah. All right, man. Well, anything else? Looks like we covered everything, right? Nice hour and 15 pod. Um, good talking to you, man. Hopefully, I think what we're hoping is to get kind of like a same, um, not the same, but we kind of have West Coast boys do their rankings, and then we
I
kind of
would
average
love,
it
yeah, I
out.
would love to tune in and see those guys rank 1 through 14, especially coming from two guys that are not in the playoffs, like get an
Exactly.
outside playoff perspective.
Yeah, let's see how they feel about the teams in the playoffs and where they put it up. So, Brina, Adam, if you guys are listening, would love to hear you guys' opinion on this. Maybe you guys do your own ranking, and we can combine the four and average out what the between the four of us. What do we think? Where all the teams stand? So, other than that, man, I think we're ready to wrap it up.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, all right, sir. Well, good talking to you. Can't wait for the merch to drop, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Later, boys.